This is His Light, Your Path with Pastor Rod Holler. Today's devotional, Finding Power.
John chapter 6, verses 5 through 13. When Jesus then lifted up his eyes and saw a great company come unto him, he saith unto Philip, Whence shall we buy bread, that these may eat? And this he said to prove him, for he himself knew what he would do. Philip answered him, 200 pennyworth of bread is not sufficient for them, that every one of them may take a little. One of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, saith unto him, There is a lad here, which hath 5 barley loaves, and 2 small fishes. But what are they among so many? And Jesus said, Make the men sit down. Now there was much grass in the place. So the men sat down, in number about 5,000. And Jesus took the loaves, and when he had given thanks, he distributed to the disciples, and the disciples to them that were set down. And likewise of the fishes, as much as they would. When they were filled, he said unto his disciples, Gather up the fragments that remain, that nothing be lost. Therefore they gathered them together, and filled 12 baskets with the fragments of the 5 barley loaves, which remained over and above unto them that had eaten. I often refer to this passage in my daily living, for it is the essence of the successful Christian life. The disciples had no idea how they were going to feed the multitude. There were only 12 disciples to serve, and they had only 5 loaves and 2 small fishes. There are times in our lives when we feel that we do not have the ability to continue. Our resources are few, and the needs are so great. Here is the essence of our message for today. We must live in reality. Our resources are few, and there is much work to be done. Where do we find the strength for the work? The key to this passage is that the disciples did what they were told to do. They did what Jesus told them to do, even though it seemed hopeless, and earthly speaking, it was hopeless. Consider Jesus' words in Matthew 19:26. But Jesus beheld them, and said unto them, With men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible. The disciples found power and resources for the task by doing the task. They were not to look for the power, but they were to do what they were told to do. Therein, God blessed by multiplying their humble resources. Thus, with men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible. Let us not be looking for the power of God. Rather, we are to be looking for the will of God and applying ourselves therein. That is where He will bless. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 24 says, Faithful is He that calleth you, who also will do it. Too many believers tell God when and where they will serve. Their intentions may be very sincere and very honorable, but if they are not doing what God wants them to do, then they will not find the power that they could have had if they were doing what God wanted them to do. Therefore, do not spend your time looking for God's power. Spend your time doing God's will. Be a godly person and watch God bless and direct your path.
This has been His Light, Your Path, the daily devotional from Pastor Rod Holler.